Okay.
Is it, motion?
It is now 5:03.
We'll get to know him.
This is the November 6th, 2025 Brentwood Cemetery Trustees meeting. All members are present, including our alternate and our superintendent. There's a packet, Caleb, up front. First item is signing the light bill. We have that already signed? Oh. Okay, so that's good. He's going to be passing around the light bill and the deed.
You know, I don't know.
And I'm going to try very hard to stay my 8 inches from the microphone because I've had audience members tell me that I'm popping sounds because I'm too close to the microphone. But it was good constructive feedback. What's that? You don't think you have to sign it.
Caleb has to sign that too.
Gave it back to me.
What's up with you these days? What are you doing these days? Are you gainfully employed? Yeah.
The next thing I have is to review the proposed budget. This will be pretty quick. Monday is our presentation to the Budget Committee. The only change that I've made is if you look on the sheet that has the salary, wages, details, the select board had voted, the original was a 3% placeholder, a COLA placeholder, and what they voted was that to have 0 COLA and a 2.8% maximum merit increase for this year. So what I did was my preliminary proposal to the trustees is that for 2025, we have a performance rating of 5 out of 5 for the superintendent, which would give her the full merit increase of 2.8%. So basically, the only thing that changed in here is that instead of having a 3% increase that was there on the first version, it now shows 2.8% because that's the max that we can give as proposed by the select board. All the other numbers would be the same. So like I said, as we know that the select board had lowered our department request of $2,000 of maintenance down to $1,500. And we'll have to see how that goes, but everything else stays the same. And I guess what we should do, though, is honestly, we should have a motion to give the 5 out of 5 and the max merit increase to the superintendent so that it's officially recorded, because that is our purview. And again, I'm assuming, I'm suggesting we do 5 out of 5 and give the max 2.8, but I think I need a motion and we officially record
I'll make that motion.
So I have a motion from Jillian to have the performance appraisal as a 5 out of 5 with the with the maximum merit increase of 2.8%.
will
Second by
that.
Skip. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Good, so we got that done. So I'm just listing budget approved with 2.8% max, and it was Jillian, second Skip. Any other questions or anything on the budget? And again, we're presenting this Monday to the Budget Committee. I really don't think there'll be any issues with that, with the Budget Committee. I
don't know, I
I
heard
have a
the
friend,
chair's
I have a
pretty
friend who
tough.
told me that.
You have an inside.
Yeah,
contact.
exactly. Oh, the other thing is, Jillian also printed out the expenditures to date. It's also in your packet. So this is actually, would be through the month of October.
Are we pretty much on course with what's left?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it looks exactly right. We might go a little bit over on maintenance, but if we do, we do.
So what I was thinking is I'm gonna do an inventory for my police department and fire department flags, and I'll order them now. If there's anything else, I might do an order now. Just kind of keeping an eye on the budget, on
And-
the bottom line, but
And just so you know, we should have plenty of time. If for some reason the order, something, you know, as long as you get the order in now,
yep,
we're
the
good,
invoice
we're
has to
good.
be in by like
Correct.
mid-December?
Yes, yeah.
I think I have till mid-December to put it on the credit cards, because I have a town credit card.
Right,
As long as it's on that and,
right.
Yeah, we're not using the New Hampshire retirement too, so if we go over on land maintenance, we won't go over the overall budget because we're not touching that.
so I have the month of November to get it together.
Yes, absolutely. I've heard that, right? Because you know, that, the budget story, right? If you don't spend it, you,
Use it or lose it.
exactly. Anything else on budget? Okay, next is the October 9th meeting minutes. Have you review those if, and if there's any changes anybody wants, I'll do that. Not, we can do a motion to accept. Just while you're reviewing that, I'll just let you know that the documents that we reviewed and approved last time, the version numbers were all updated and the dates updated and all put on the website. So that's all officially done.
Did you get that QR code thing? We're gonna report on that.
Yeah, I sent that to the superintendent, yeah.
Yeah, and that's been put at the cemetery. It's laminated and in the kiosk.
And you can actually, when you drive by, it's big. You can see, I could see it. It's kind of big. It's only
Yeah.
8.5 by 11 piece of paper, so
Yep.
you can walk right up to it and scan it.
Yep. Did you try to scan it through the plexi and with the laminate?
I did not. I didn't stop. It should work, though.
I will try that.
I think because it's big enough, it should work.
Good to me.
Looks
Move-
good.
Move to accept them.
Okay, motion from Skip,
Second?
second Julian, to accept the October 9th, 2025 meeting minutes as written. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? No? Good. I will remove the draft and update the website. Next would be cemetery activities. Joyce, you can do that.
So I did put the QR code in the kiosk, and I will go out and check and make sure that it is available with the laminate and the plastic. I took down a lot of the old posts that were in there. I'm gonna redo the kiosk over the winter, kind of jazz it up a little bit more, get everything up to date. The irrigation lines were blown out. Thank you, Skip, for coming. It took us like, what, less than half an hour to do? Super
Thank you
quick.
both. Thank you, Skip.
Yeah, that was super quick. The Veterans Day cards, they are at the library for anybody to walk in. Most of them have already got like a pre-printed saying or salutation on it. People can come in and write a note, or they can just sign it. I'll be coming down on Veterans Day, and I will take it to the nursing home. I've already talked to them, and they're beyond thrilled to take them, and they'll hand them out to residents there. And then, do we have any more information on the welfare request, or is that still pending? We did have somebody do a inquiry about how we do welfare burials. Was that information shared with you at all? No.
No,
Okay.
not at all.
So if anybody has a need for a welfare burial with the town, the deceased is actually then taken in care of a funeral home or New Hampshire Cremation Society. There are places out for the family to get help if they need help with a funeral on the funeral end, the funeral home end. Some people GoFundMe. Fainhoff Funeral Home out of Concord, I do believe, actually has a foundation, and they will help work with the family. They can also, I think, talk to the Department of Health and Human Services and get a welfare paperwork started, and they would work with a welfare person for the town. Once that is started, that's taken care of on the funeral home end for how you disperse with it. All welfare burials, as far as I know, would be cremation. So basically, the funeral home or New Hampshire Cremation Society would work with the family to have that person cremated. Then they can either hang on to it and try to raise some money, or they can come to us and plead their case. We do have it as policy, and it's in our, I think it's in our rules and regulations, that one of the things that I would do is I will facilitate a welfare burial. I will not charge the family. We have that one section of Tonry where Mr. Adams is already there. He was buried in the 1960s. I will just dig the hole, respect, honor, dignity, put him, close the grave. I think anybody putting a marker, that would be on them. I don't think that's on us. I will put a cremation marker on it, and it will be noted within our files. So that's how that will work. I haven't had any more intel on that. Nobody's really followed up on it, but it is an option if somebody passes away. It's usually with someone who passes away at home with no other family around, or no one to assume responsibility. I don't know how it works on the funeral home end, as far as coming and retrieving the body and what happens with that part of it. I know a lot of funeral homes will work with people. I know some people who didn't have family to pay for it, and the funeral home was able to do payments or work with the family. And then as far as the burial itself, the family or friends were able to pay for the funeral. And it's something that I would just work with, and that comes out of my time as a superintendent to do that burial. So however long it takes for me to open the grave, inter the person, and to close the grave, it's on my timesheet.
Who has possession, I guess is the right word, of the body, to sign any paperwork that needs to go through us?
So that would have to go with the funeral home. So I know I heard a situation out of the western part of the state where it was a veteran that passed, a friend was looking after him, the gentleman passed, funeral home took responsibility, and then we worked with them, and a couple other people worked with them to have them, just have the funeral home sign off on it, because they were the ones, and there is in the RSA, like, who gets to have chain of command of the body, and I think the funeral home worked with whoever was doing the interment to make it happen. And I think the funeral home signed off on it. It's in the RSAs. I haven't really delved into it too much because that's more on the funeral home end. I think it would be the funeral home that would sign off.
There is paperwork, at least there used to be, that there has to be a burial transmitting.
And that would come from the funeral home. I have some of those permits, but I've talked to so it's a transit permit. I've talked to funeral homes and they said, no, we pretty much, the deceased comes to us, and then for us to be able to hand it off to anyone else, whether it's gonna go on your shelf, whether it's gonna be interred, whatever happens, it's the funeral home that handles that transit permit. So if someone's going to get grandmother from the funeral home, that person will get the ashes, and they will also get a transit permit. When they bring their ashes to me, I get the transit permit, but it originates from the funeral home.
And that permit is,
It's here.
kept here.
Yep, it stays here with the green card. I actually staple it now to the back of the green card. The burial permit, which is one that gets filed with the state, goes to Daphne at the town office. So there's 2 forms that get run around. Caskets, it's just the burial permit that goes to Daphne. I don't get a transit permit because the funeral home is bringing the casket to me. And the handoff is just to be the burial.
So we do not have a separate file for all that paperwork. That's the town office.
So burial permits that are issued by the funeral home are done through the town office. The transit permit for ashes are handed to me. They are stapled to their burial card, their green card that we created, and it's kept in a file in our filing cabinet. So yes, there is a file. And oftentimes I'll make copies of everything. So anybody who has bought a lot or has been buried in Brentwood has their own individual file in our filing cabinet, and I make copies of anything that goes here, there, and everywhere else except for the burial permit, because that's vital records. But the transit permit, their green card, and their record of purchasing the lot all goes in their file that's in our filing cabinet. We do a lot of filing.
Good job. You initiated that because years ago,
We have no idea what's happening here.
so that's
Did-
great.
Did you share this with the welfare director? Just curious.
I have talked, yeah, we talked
you?
about it. We
Okay,
had that
'cause,
phone conversation.
I mean, that way, I would think if someone approached the welfare director asking about how this works, and there were certain funeral homes that they should, that help, it would be good if she had that name. Or do you want that she get contact with, get the person to talk to you? Or, I just don't know. Have you talked to Laura about this?
Yeah, we had a phone
Oh, good.
conversation about it. I just didn't know if she had mentioned it to you. 'cause
Oh,
I
no,
know
we
there's
just
an
live in the
overlap.
same house. We don't talk. So.
No, and it was.
We don't talk town shop business at home.
I get you. No, I totally understand that. I just didn't know if she maybe was like, how do I do this? Who do I talk to? And I don't mind sharing
I
it.
do remember her saying that she got contacted, and I did tell her to call you.
Yeah, we talked about it, and a lot of it just starts to fall with the funeral home and how they want to handle the family. Because there are times that when someone passes and no one will claim ashes, there are some funeral homes in their closet, a lot of unclaimed ashes. And honestly, this is really horrible, and I will say it publicly. Some of the dig crew, what they will actually do is once a year, they will open a mass line of graves and they will inter everybody. All the paperwork is done, like handed off to the town, like no one claimed this person, here's their paperwork. But we, as diggers or whoever, we're just going to respectfully inter them. Because there was a situation in an area town where it sat in somebody's shed, urns upon urns upon urns, and they were not interred. And when this person gave up their position, they went into the shed and went, what's happening here? So we tried, funeral homes, as far as I know, try not to hold on to things. Even if it's an unclaimed, I mean, look at the veterans. We try really hard to make sure that an unclaimed veteran gets a respect, honor, dignity, burial.
Would it be a good idea to develop a procedure sheet or whatever it is for the welfare individuals? A plan like what happens when somebody dies and is turned over to
Yeah,
the
we can do
welfare.
that. Yeah, I know there's RSAs around it, and I know the funeral homes are really tied to it, but I could work with the funeral homes and ask them, what do you want from us to give to you in case it happens?
Yeah,
Yep.
that'd be good to have in our files.
Yep.
I don't know what we would call that, procedures or,
Yeah, at least on our end.
yeah. For the next person.
What are you saying?
So I think that was fall projects, irrigation. Oh, the Veterans Day, did you say?
Yep. So Veterans Day, we're doing the cards at the library that people
Okay.
can come in and
Okay, I
just
heard you
sign
say that.
cards that will
Yep.
go to the nursing home.
Yep. Thank you.
I think, now that I think of it, rules and regulations, I think we have a paragraph or a list of typical procedures when somebody dies.
Yep.
That might be a good place to insert that.
Yep. To make an amendment. Yeah. Yep. Winter work.
That's all the activities, right? Good, thank you. Old business, the Poor Farm, I know, thank you, again, the marker was placed, and it looks fabulous.
Yeah, it looks great.
And I'm hoping we should do a story on this.
Yep. So I just actually wrote that.
Yeah.
I will write something up. I will share it with everybody. Everybody can just contribute to it, pictures. I hope to do that maybe this weekend.
And with the picture, I think that would be really, really
Yeah.
good story to have in
Yep.
the newsletter.
Has anybody been out to see it? I haven't had a chance.
I have not, because
Okay.
unless I have permission, I feel awkward, like, just going over there. I mean, maybe,
I did let them know that it was done.
Yeah.
And that we, maybe not as a group, but individually would probably be going out to see it. And she said, that's fine, you guys. We know you all
Oh,
well
okay.
enough now. I think that it'd be fine.
because Doug actually asked me just yesterday if I had gone
Yeah.
out and seen it, and I said, no, I go, but I wanted to talk to Joyce. I want to make sure. I don't just like going over there because, we're not going off of private property. So
I'll let them know one more time that we individually will probably be going out
plus,
there.
we'll probably be going back there with the blowers. I'll be going back there with the blower to do the cleanup anyway. So
When it's not windy.
right.
I guess though, are we going to be
Oh.
talking about the funding?
Yes, I'll give you an update on that.
Yeah.
I actually spoke to both Julie Avant and Bill Dunham about this. And their next meeting is in December, but they possibly will meet before that just to get this approved. I basically just provided them the documents I gave them the timeline, the exact dates of when we did the public hearing, when the select board announced the public hearing, and then when the select board voted to the abandoned cemetery. So I gave them the dates that was done. I gave them the minutes. It's funny, the minutes for, I think it was February 25th select board meeting when they actually voted the abandoned cemetery. If you look in the minutes, because it was a weird meeting, we were over at the rec center for, I believe it was the public hearing on the tax cap. And but it was integrated with the select board meeting. And if you look at the minutes for that day, it doesn't list the vote on the cemetery. But if you view, the video is still up there. If you look at the video, you see it. And I got a copy of the transcript from the YouTube video. I provided all of that to Julie and to Bill. And I put a copy to Jillian as well. So we'll be good with that.
Can I get a copy and I'll put it in
Oh,
our
of course.
minutes here? So
Yeah,
we
yeah,
have
yeah,
it.
of course. Oh, of course. I
Yeah.
should have just sent it to
That's
you.
okay. February is weird.
And again, I think really the little bit of confusion was just when they saw maintenance
Yeah.
and they're like, well, we only have 2 cemeteries. And I know you tried to explain that this is now a town cemetery, but I don't think there was still some confusion with that.
Yeah, the
And once
backstory.
I explained to them the abandoned, and oh, by the way, I have a letter from NHMA. I have an email from NHMA. I'll send that to you as well. About that, once that was declared abandoned by the select board, it is a cemetery. It is the Town of Brentwood Cemetery, and it is the responsibility of the Brentwood Cemetery Trustees to maintain that cemetery. And I gave that to, again, the trustee of the trust fund. So
Right.
yeah, they'll be fine. And three, the company that manages our finances,
Three
Three
bearings.
Three Bearings, thank you. They already had kind of said, yeah, look, this trustees of trust funds just have to approve this and it's all set. So
Okay.
we'll be good on that.
Okay.
Just so you know, the fencing might be a different issue. We'll have to discuss that when we go to do it, but that'll be later.
Yeah. Cool. And do you have an update on doing the survey? Because we were going to talk to the town.
I don't.
Okay.
I need to do that.
For those of you who are going, what? What's happening? In order for us to have the survey done, proper survey with proper GPS points for the Brentwood Port Farm Cemetery, the survey folks said, yeah, we can do it, but they just need permission from the title fee owner, which would be the Town of Brentwood. It would just be a letter saying, yes, we're requesting this, and then the survey company will go ahead and draw up a contract, let us know how that all goes, but I think
Yeah,
we were
what
gonna
I'll
touch
do,
base with
and
them. Sorry, jumping the gun.
that fell through the cracks on me.
No, it's
but
okay.
I'll write a letter, and I believe that would come from select board actually giving permission, but I'll write the letter for the chair who happens to be in the audience this evening. And then we can have that sent to whoever needs to have it, so we
Okay.
can do that survey.
If you want, I'll type up my conversation with them, send it to you, you can put it in a letter,
Thank you.
so you know the
Perfect.
backstory
Yeah,
going forward.
do that. 'Cause
Yep,
then
okay.
I won't forget this time. Yeah, because that's important. We want to get that done.
And they can still do it as long as there's not a lot of snow, and this is
Right.
actually like opportune time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Because once we have the letter approved by the select board, Joyce, you'll take it to them? Is that how it'll work?
I think actually Select Board could send it to La Valley Associates in Hampstead, because they're the ones that
Okay.
did the original survey for the Sanborns. And I think they can go off an existing line, so they'll have 2 points, and they'll just have to do the other 2 points, and then we can add it to the GIS maps and tax map and take it from there, but they need something official, and it can't just be us asking. It's gotta be more official.
Yeah, I'll get it done.
Yeah.
I'll make sure I get it all written up, and so
Okay.
that when I present it to the select board, can clearly explain what it
Okay.
is and what we need to do. Thanks, Joyce.
Yep.
And it's La Valley Surveyors.
I think it is, yeah. I'll send that to you.
Thank you.
They did quite a job mounting that plaque. Supposed to take a couple of hours or whatever it was. I think it might have been a meteorite, that boulder,
Yeah,
because I never saw anything.
I heard that he said it was the hardest rock that he's ever had to deal with.
I think it might have been a meteorite.
Yeah. It took 2 days. So what they had to do is they wanted to recess it into the boulder, and they were gonna try to sandblast it, but that would have made a huge mess, so they ended up cutting it, and you have to do like grids, and you just chisel it out and then sandblast it smooth. And we were there, a couple hours, and they had like maybe 4 lines this way and 4 lines that way, and he's like, I have to come back. It's gonna take 2 days. Yeah.
But thankfully,
I do have
Yeah.
pictures if you wanna see them, yeah.
he got it done. Because
Yeah.
there was also, if it starts to get too cold, it starts to become a problem. The epoxy doesn't set as well, so he definitely wanted to get it done that day. And it took him 2. It came out really nice. On the fencing line, I'll cover that. I mean, to me, we'll get the survey done, and
Okay.
I would think the fencing would be something we do next year and next spring anyways. And, I know we talked about either voluntarily doing it, or there are local vendors we can go talk to about maybe they could donate either
Yep.
material or time or something like that. 'Cause it's not that big of an area, and I don't think that we're talking about putting up anything really all that fancy or big. We just want to delineate it from becoming part of the woods again, just something simple that that delineates it from the woods.
And I think there's a certain family that is tied to that whole area that has a company here in town that I bet if we went to them and said, hey, would you be willing to, we can't take financials because then we have to do a fund, but if you want to do gifts in kind,
Right.
we have a couple fence posts that we could maybe put up and probably come out and do it.
In the olden days, you'd have some of the prisoners do that,
I know, right?
you know?
And then
Are you
just
taking that as an action item?
And do you, Jim, want to work on the leaf blowing and
Yeah.
whenever you want to go out and do that?
Yeah. What I'll do is maybe, we've usually done it during the week. I'll just send an email out. I know, like, you folks work. Maybe Skip, you and I can go over and do it some afternoon or
I'll be
something.
happy to help with
I'll
it.
be here.
Okay. I'll take care of that, Joyce.
Okay, thank you. Do we want to try and put some loam in at the same time? Maybe touch base with Wayne and I'll put that in your bucket to do.
Okay.
That would be fine. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that
mean,
would
if
probably be
you're
a good
going
time to
over-
do it.
Yeah, if you're leaf blowing and he has a minute and just
All right.
scoop some dirt off the
I'll check with him
compost
too.
pile.
I'll coordinate with Skip and
Okay.
Wayne.
And if I'm around, I'll come help if I can.
Okay. Awesome. I think that's it for Poor Farm. Future planning and calendar, Wreaths Across America, December 13th.
I did a presentation last night at Three Ponds, the village at Three Ponds. There were probably about 15, 20 people there.
Nice.
And I did a stone cleaning demonstration, or more like a talk through how to do it. I couldn't actually do a demonstration because I don't have a stone there. They seemed pretty energized about that. I did offer them that in the spring, if they wanted to, I would do it again, but more hands-on, and we would actually go up to the Cram Cemetery and actually do the stone cleaning there. And they seemed really engaged. They really want to do it. I do have a packet of information, so it would be all of us or any of us going out, seeing them. I can explain the best way to do stones, and then I have some paperwork that they can take, and basically we would register them for the year so that they could come and go in that cemetery and do what they need for cleanup. They seem pretty engaged to want to do that. And then I told them about the Wreaths Across America, and right now we only have 88 more left to sponsor, and we'll have everybody
You're
covered.
awesome.
And I have until December 1st. Hopefully we'll get it.
88.
Deadline's December 1st.
December 1st, yep. And I also had the students from the Seacoast School of Technology, the FFA kids, they are on board to do the ceremony with me again this year.
Great.
That was a nice little ceremony.
Yeah,
Is there a link for the wreaths sponsoring a wreath on the town website? Or is that?
can I get that to you?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm just thinking if we can get it out in as many places as possible.
yep. I usually do it all on Facebook, but I can get that to you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can't hurt.
and the link will actually take you right to our sponsorship page.
Ooh, and next year you could do a QR code. You could post it outside my office.
I actually have flyers with QR codes, which I probably should bring you.
Yes, please.
Yep.
Okay.
Joyce, just again, on the Three Ponds, which cemetery did you tell them about maybe cleaning in the spring? Is it
It's the
like-
Cram Cemetery. It's right there at the entrance.
Yep,
On the hill, right above the hill.
Yeah, yeah, it's a little tiny one.
right.
Yeah. And I'd like to challenge them to see if maybe they would be interested in doing some research on that cemetery. I know we have some limited. I just haven't had the time to delve into it. I know that Frank Northrop knows a lot, but I was thinking maybe they can coordinate with their entertainment or education person to sit down with him and maybe take some notes, because he probably knows the most, unless, I mean, maybe I can see if you want to go over sometime and see if there's anybody that wants to sit with Frank and take notes. It seems like as a community, they're really, like, they want to do stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, geez, you even put it, I didn't even notice that you'd put it in there, Cram Cemetery. Thank you. Okay, I think that's everything for future planning and calendar. Any other business from anyone? Caleb? No? Skip? Joyce? Julie?
I do have one that might be coming up. It was a family in town that has mentioned to me that in time, the family may not be able to maintain their family cemetery. It's a private cemetery. And what do they do about that? I've started looking at it. It's not a hurry, but it's something that's on the radar. Just wanted to let you guys know. I've started looking at it. It would just be them approaching us, approaching the select board and letting the town know. And there's some legal stuff to go through, just to give us the right to be able to go and maintain that cemetery.
Okay.
So
I mean, to have it declared abandoned cemetery?
Yeah.
I don't know that it would be abandoned because the family does take care of it. They take very good care of it. They just figure as the family is aging out, and it's happening across the state that a lot of family cemeteries, instead of letting it slide into abandonment,
Mhm.
they'd rather say, hey, is there any way that we can get the town to assume responsibility of our cemetery? So I just started researching and I don't have a lot of answers on it, but I figured I'd throw it out there that it might be something that's coming up,
Okay.
so.
Anything else, Jillian?
Nope.
Okay, I guess at this point, public comment. Paul, anything? No? Cool. Okay, well, if there's nothing else, I'll take a, oh, go ahead.
So not that anybody really needs to know, but I am going to the state on middle of November. I don't have the exact date in front of me because they didn't send it back to me. I'm doing a presentation for New Hampshire Municipal Association on cemetery accounting. And if you guys ever want to have, I think I've done a shortened version of that, just presentation. I can get that to you if we
Yeah.
ever want to see it.
I would really like to see it.
It's basically how I talk about, so basically I start with operating budget, the woes that everybody's going through. I go through perpetual care and then capital reserve fund and how to manage all that and how we manage all that.
I'd like to go to that.
It does cost a lot of money for this one, but I can give you guys, so I can get Linda from Three Bearing to come over with me. We'd be happy to give you that presentation ourselves for free because we do it together. We do it in tandem.
I would like that.
Or I can even just do my end of it, because hers is basically the legal end of it, the accounting end of it. Mine is the real world. This is what we do. And we could probably do it on the YouTube channel. So people at home can see what we
Right.
do.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
Yeah. Probably should have done that before budgeting.
Sorry, well, it's a winter meeting.
It's a winter meeting. No, I'm done.
Now we good? Okay, well, if we're done, I'll take a motion to adjourn at 5:40.
Motion.
Motion Jillian. Second. Skip. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
We're done. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Yeah. Okay. Very good.